This week, I will also end the government policy of trying to socially engineer race and gender into every aspect of public and private life. We will forge a society that is colorblind and merit-based. As of today, it will henceforth be the official policy of the United States government that there are only two genders, male and female.
Mr. President, going back to the World Health Organization, you were the president during COVID.
A few moments later.
Donald Trump was inaugurated at 12, and just a few minutes ago, he has now claimed that there will only be the male and female gender that will be recognized in America. This sets back everything that the trans community has been working for, and we have already not been recognized in this country for centuries. If we remember, gay marriage became legal 10 years ago. We had just earned the right to change our gender on our passports and IDs. Just because I want to identify as a man does not mean I am trying to hurt you. In these next 4 years, you are going to hear the most intense anti-trans propaganda you have ever heard in your entire life. And they're going to strew it in a way that sounds extremely convincing because it will fearmonger. It will fearmonger everyone's insecurities. Please talk to your neighbors, protect your trans community, stay involved, and do not forget us because history will try to erase us.
Hey guys, everything feels really out of control and scary, and I'm really anxious. Elon Musk, did a Nazi salute for some reason. That's so scary. And, Donald Trump's the president, and that's so scary. And, he basically admitted to voter fraud, but we're all just kind of glossing over that. Also, if you look up, this is random, if you look up right now, in the search bar on TikTok, the Taylor Swift song, The Smallest Man Who Ever Lived, it's all, for me at least, I'll show you. It's all, replaced with woman, question mark. What is about to happen? I have, such, impending doom and fear, and, what is about to happen? So, I'm just laughing because I'm scared. I don't... why, I'm not understanding either why Elon Musk is involved. Isn't he not American? What is going on? What is happening?
What's up, y'all? Gerald here, creator of Gospel Chops and your host for this YouTube channel, back with another video. Now, y'all, it seems like the liberals are going crazy. Just a few hours into President Trump's second administration, y'all, they're losing their minds. It seems like, in particular, the sir ma'ams. Sir ma'am. Seems like the sir ma'ams are going crazy. They're losing their minds. The heavily tattooed, heavily pierced people of America that we try to pretend are normal, even though they like to poke holes in their face and their nose and their eyebrows. We pretend that they're normal. We pretend that they are like us because they walk amongst us. They talk like us. They tend to act like us. They are not like us, y'all. These people, in my opinion, have a severe mental illness. Hasn't been fully diagnosed because they are on the left and they're a protected class. It seems like can't nobody really get so close enough to them to really dig down deep and find out what's going on. But what we know is that they feel like who they are is not who they are. They feel like who God made them is not who they should be. They look down and they see a penis and they say, away with it. Like the president of Argentina, he recently went on, they say, abuela, abuela. Get rid of it. Take it outside. Chop it off. Well, you people who are of a particular persuasion are in for a rude awakening in this administration because normal is about to be normal again, and you have spent the last 4 years, at least the last 4 years, You might be some holdovers from the Obama administration, and you suffered a little piece through Donald Trump's first administration, and then you got some get back during Joe Biden's administration, and you're saying they have made abnormal normal. Well, the pendulum doth swing. And here in 2025, you are in a situation where the pendulum is swinging back the other way, and you are going to face a situation, you're going to have to deal with a situation where normal is normal again. What do I mean by normal? Well, the normality that Americans were used to prior to the Obama administration, where he told you you can be whatever you wanted to be, you can do whatever you wanted to do. If it feels good, do it in the road. Yeah, that brown guy wrecked America. That brown guy that many of us independents voted for because we believed in what he was selling, some hope and some change. The only change we got, the only change we were left with was a couple coins in our pocket after he fleeced America. Not only of our finances, but of our morality. We were happy for Donald Trump 1.0, and we are even more ecstatic about Donald Trump 2.0, who has sat back for 4 years under the Biden administration and learned a few things. You know, if you followed this billionaire, you understand. If you read The Art of the Deal like I have, you understand a little piece of this man, and you understand that over the last 4 years, he's been sitting back, he's been watching things, he's been examining things, he's been stewing on things. Oh, he couldn't wait to get back in. And I love the fact that he handles power well. This is the kind of president that America needs to bring us back to normality. And I'm glad that normal is about to be normal once again.
Has been covering President Trump's planned executive orders, including actions rolling back DEI policies. Yamiche, tell us about it.
Well, good afternoon, Lester. I've been talking to a number of legal experts related to the executive orders on DEI, which of course is diversity, equity, and inclusion, as well as gender identity. The Trump administration and the President Trump are planning to sign an executive order where they would be saying that there are two biological sexes, male and female. And to that end, they would be rolling back any sort of gender issues or any sort of gender things that are talking about anything that's non-binary or anything that is not specifically male or female. And to that part, I've been talking to a legal expert who say there could be immediate impacts on that executive order, including in prisons, migrant shelters, as well as in spaces like rape shelters. That could mean that people that are transgender could be moved out of those spaces that they say align with their gender identity and instead moved into spaces that deal with their biological sex in the way that the Trump administration is seeing this. So we could see immediate impact on that. We also are hearing that the Trump administration is going to be changing the way that passports and federal documents are going to be used and utilized and taking away those gender identity terms. In that regard, a legal expert told me that if you're someone who's transgender, who has a passport that maybe has gender X on it, they would caution you not to leave the country because you could literally be detained by border agents because you couldn't have your gender entered into the system if the Trump administration is no longer identifying it. So that means if you're someone who leaves the country, you could literally not be let back in until the State Department issued you a passport that said you were either male or female. So really need to look out for those immediate consequences. I've also been talking to people about these DEI programs. And one expert at the NAACP Legal Defense Fund told me that it's a big question what exact programs are going to be targeted. But they said to me that if it prohibits anything that deals with discrimination on race or gender, while they might see real legal challenges there, those could also be immediately implemented. And they expect, though, to have a lot of lawsuits related to that. But that even with the Trump administration, presidents have the ability to do what they want when it comes to dealing with the federal government's issuance of these programs. So definitely a big fights ahead, and also, though, immediate impacts that we expect, Lester.
So as we all know, Trump is now president of the United States. And Trump is bringing in laws to only recognize people as their assigned gender at birth. There's a lot of implications about this. So, basic things, right? One, what about people who've transitioned, right? What about trans people? people who transition, you pretty much are outlawing being trans. And what about those trans people who have changed their name and sex legally? What, are you going to reissue them new birth certificates? And, third, right? What about you have literally created a position where there's going to be men going into women's spaces now and women going into men's spaces. This is dangerous as fuck. Like, say you are a trans woman going into a men's bathroom. What's going to happen? It's not safe. You are literally creating laws to harm trans people, Trump.
As a trans person myself, the thoughts of my rights in the future being, threatened is something that's scary. Yeah, I'm not excited for the next 4 years.
How do you feel about Trump being inaugurated for his second term today?
I think in total it is a terrifying thing to happen in the United States. I think it is a bit disgusting that we've allowed a felon into office and someone who is so hateful towards people of color, towards people who are queer, just towards women, towards people who deserve to have rights in America.
And what do you think Trump being reelected into office kind of means for the future of LGBTQIA plus rights in America?
I think the biggest issue right now is thinking for minors. People who are 18 years of age have a little bit more freedom because you can go to different states at that point. And I could go up to Minnesota if I really needed to. We've seen a lot of increase in anti-LGBTQ legislation for people who are under 18. They're not able to achieve hormone therapy, that sort of thing. And that's very difficult for mental health.
Yo, let me know what you think about this. And the Sir Ma'am blackity black community trying to form a coalition against the new president. Oh, it's a new day in America. I suggest you get with it. I suggest you be a little selfish and get everything you can get out this new administration to better your situation and build a better situation in the future for yourself and your family. Y'all let me know what you think about this. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the video so we can get more people involved in the conversation, y'all. And like I always say, always remember and never forget, without the gospel, it's just chops. Until next time, peace.